Hi there, Sandy here. Welcome to another jewelry making video at keepsakecrafts.net. Today I have for you a bracelet that's kind of different from what I usually make. We're going to be stringing large hole porcelain beads onto silk cord for a very soft feminine bracelet. So this project was inspired by some of the materials that I received in the $1 bead box subscription. I did a review on that subscription not very long ago. So I was just looking at these hand-painted Chinese porcelain beads and noticed in the description that they have a 1.5 millimeter hole, which made me take another look at this dyed silk cord, and I thought, oh, that would be really pretty to put them onto the ribbon and just make a really simple, quick bracelet. Don't tell my granddaughter, but I think she's going to be getting this for her birthday. I also took a look at the 10 millimeter antique silver plated floral bead caps. They are a little bit trickier to get on the cord, so I don't know if I'm going to do that. This would be a fun project not only to make for somebody special, but it's so simple that you could make it with them. So if my granddaughter lived closer to me, I might offer to get together with her and we could make something like this together. And this is a nice long 32-inch length of ribbon, so you could wrap it a few times. I think for this project I'm just going to do one wrap. And I think I'm going to use these bead caps. I only have 6, so I'll only have enough to put them on 3 of the beads, but that'll be fine. I'll just add a little bit different color and tie it in with the findings that I've chosen, which are also silver and silver plated. And of course, this doesn't have to just be a bracelet, it could be a necklace just as easily. I'm going to just use my scissors and trim that. Maybe that will make that a little easier. There we go. So I've decided just to have these 5 beads on. I think that'll be pretty for a child's wrist. And just for sizing, I'm going to make it just so it's a little snug on me, but then I'll add some chain so that she can make it adjustable and make it fit her. So you could just leave this ribbon as is, cut it on the diagonal so it doesn't fray, leave a long end that you can just tie in a bow. But I think a nicer finish is to use these ribbon ends. So I've just used my scissors and trimmed this to a nice flat straight edge. I took a moment and opened these kind of wide because this ribbon's squishy and dimensional. And I've got a little bit of E6000 glue here, which is nice and flexible when it dries, and it also stays clear. You could use super glue, but that's kind of brittle when it dries. You could use craft glue, but that will wash out. It will dissolve if it gets wet. So I put just a dab of glue in there for insurance. And then place my ribbon. And then use flat nose pliers. Flatten it down most of the way, and then stop and check and make sure that there isn't anything you need to adjust before you do the final squash. And there, now that end is nicely finished. And there isn't a huge difference between a child-sized bracelet and an adult-sized bracelet, so I'm going to just make this fit kind of tightly on me and then give her a bit of chain so that she can adjust it as she grows. So if an adult-sized bracelet is somewhere around 7 inches, I'll make this probably just under 6 inches and make the rest of it adjustable. Yeah, and I'm going to go ahead and trim this off at about just under 6 inches. So I wanted to give a big shout out to two of my newest patrons on Patreon, Candy and Dolores. Thank you so much to both of you, Candy and Dolores, for supporting me and the tutorials that I make. It really means a lot to me that you want to do that. And if you don't know what Patreon or patrons are, you can check out my Patreon page. It's a way for you to help support artists that you like. If you believe in the art that people do and you want to help them to continue to be able to make it, it's a way of giving $1 a month or whatever you can afford and help them out. And it really makes a big difference to me in enabling me to continue making these videos for you, because although I always want to keep them free for you, they're not free for me. They cost me quite a bit in time and resources. So there, I just went ahead and added the other ribbon end, and then I'm going to add a clasp. I got this sweet little heart one with a jump ring, a bit of chain, maybe just like half of that with a jump ring, and the bracelet is all done. So if you're interested in the supplies I use, click on the little eye or the tag in the upper right of the video. Those are called the cards, by the way. And there will always be related videos and a link to my blog post, as well as the link will be in the description box. And I always have a complete supply list at my blog post along with links to products. So check that out. There's often more information there too. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and take a look at my Patreon page for how you can get great rewards and help support these tutorials. Happy creating. Bye-bye.